Let's play Plead the Fifth with Orlando and the Freak Show on Wild 94.1. Now, who's taking the stand?
It is I'm going to do the dance with the questions.
Ooh.
Plead the fifth. 3 questions in the room. 3 questions from you. We get 1 pass. That's all we get. Davi starts it off with his question.
Gotcha, bro. So you often speak about how apprehensive you are or would be to introduce like a female friend or somebody that you might be interested in to your daughters. My question is, what would somebody have to do? What level would they have to be on for them to be able to meet your 2 little girls? And kind of like what requirements would that take?
Man, they'd have to have more than a key card. Like, you know what I'm saying? They can't just get the job. They have to be there for a minute.
Okay.
Just because it's not really that I think they're going to pick up something from somebody, like a bad type of, vibe or habit or whatever. But I just really think I don't want them seeing me running around doing a lot. They need to see me with somebody who's got some status.
Okay.
And so they can not change their image of me. I don't want them to see, I ain't been dating daddy ever. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, my dating days was kind of before, my heavy dating activity days were before they came.
Yeah.
So they haven't really seen that. And I think that would be like, wait a minute, what? Bitch, you out here like that? So I just don't want to, I don't want that to be like their image of their pop.
Is there like a time frame at all, you think? Like,
I mean, I like
you have to wait?
like 6 months or something like that. I mean, I had just hit 6 months with one person and was kind of like, this could be somebody I would introduce because of who they were. They were like, they had really good status, but they had these bouts of crazy. And I was just like, like you keep voting yourself off the island.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's
an issue.
So that became an issue. So yeah, I don't know if it's a time limit, but I know 6 months it didn't happen.
Wow. Okay.
So,
Gotcha.
So maybe a year. I don't know.
That sounds about right.
Nice. Orlando, who is the hottest celebrity or musician that everyone says is just hot, sexy, but for you, it's a nah?
I just,
I thought of one person.
I mean, you thought of a person for you? Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Somebody who they think is hot and I don't. Man. I mean, 'cause I don't want to be mean to nobody.
You gotta
Do
say
it.
it.
I don't want to be mean.
mean.
I don't want to be mean, but
It's just a celebrity.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of. Like, which one is the best one? I would think the way people kind of really think The Weeknd looks good.
The Weeknd.
I think they think The Weeknd is a good looking man.
Not expecting
he's
that.
a
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that.
Because when he came here, everybody was like, ooh, the sex symbol thing. And then he started like wrapping his face in bloody ribbons and bandages and stuff. And people were like, ooh. And I was just like, I just don't get it. I don't, now if it's a chick, on the chick side, I would probably go with Young Miami
Okay.
from City.
Period.
She gonna be mad about that one.
Oh, yeah, this is
she's
mad.
she's one of the ones where I think she's prettier until she speaks.
Yeah.
When she starts
see that.
talking, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, I really could take you though. Like, not anywhere we gonna be talking. Like, so I just think I don't think she's as hot as people claim.
Okay.
Now you got beef with Diddy.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
not Diddy mad at me and everything else. I mean, but his other side chicks I think are cute. No,
Yeah.
I'm prettier.
No,
Is
I'm
that
just
what you're saying?
No.
Okay, so let's talk about Orlando again with your dating life. I'm sure there's lots of girls out there. Maybe you were trying not to date seriously, but at least try to hook up with a little bit.
Wait a minute. I don't like the way this question is going. I don't just hook up.
But a lot of, of those women potentially have children, in certain situations. So have you ever pulled up to a chick's house and their kids were there, or has somebody tried to pull up to your house when you had your kids at your house?
Okay, so the question is, have I ever slid in at somebody's house and the kid was there?
Sure.
Yes. I have. Well, you know what? I'll keep it a buck. That's a double standard for me because I've never done it. Well, no, I'm not saying never.
Draw that back.
When you put it's different when you put kids to bed and they like they're like toddlers. They in a crib or something, or they're like like
not getting
or
out.
they're in a little like they don't get up and go get water. You know what I'm saying? So that's different. So I mean, like, yeah, I did it then, but now that my daughters are like 13 to when they do this age, nah, I couldn't, just because I don't. How am I explaining that? Like, but on the other side of it, I've been invited places where a kid was like 2 doors down and the door was locked, and I'm like, to where the kid knocked on the door, and I'm like,
And so you still went and did
right,
it.
and I'm like, oh my God, I was freaking out, and she's like, you go to bed, and told him to go to bed, and he went to bed,
That
and
ruins
I was
that
like,
moment.
yo, like that's crazy.
That's the last time I'm at that house.
Right,
Yeah.
I felt like, yo, I'm really about to like be in the middle of some stuff and
Yeah.
some awkwardness, and I don't, because I wasn't the person who was supposed to be seen there by the kid. No, there was no person, but I'm saying like we were just together.
Are you
but
my
the
new
kid
daddy?
didn't know. Right,
Are you
right.
Orlando?
How's a kid in the middle of the night gonna see somebody and not think either you Santa Claus or the new daddy? You got to be at least one of them. So I was a little freaked out by it. All right, that's 3. You got 3 coming from you guys on the other side. My daughters are amazing, but there is one thing that they do. I've tried to explain to them that this is just not right, but they whisper a lot.
Oh.
And it really
To each other? Or
to
like on
each
the
other,
phone?
like no, to each other with the whole cup over the ear, like blah blah blah, in front of people, and they've done it in
That's
front of
rude.
me, and I'm like, yo, that's not
Yeah.
cool. And then they're like, Daddy, you want to know the secret? And I'm like, no, I'm not arguing with you because, well, yes, I want to know the secret, but I want to know like you to understand that's not cool. Like when you do it in front of people. So they were like meeting, like it was not meeting, but it was people who aren't in our normal circle, and my daughter starts whispering into her sister's ear about something, hand over the thing, and I'm looking at her like, this person who you just met, Pastor so-and-so, thinks you whispering about him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it makes it feel, and they always think like we know we have a power, we know the secret, and Daddy wants to know. Daddy, you sure you don't want to know? I'm like, I'm not arguing you because I want to know. I want to tell you that that's rude.
Yeah.
And you don't do that in front of people, and they won't stop doing it. It's just like a sisterly thing that I just want to smack them every time they do
can.
it.
I've had to call my girlfriend out about doing that. Is as far as like talking in Spanish. Like she'll say something to me in Spanish, and it'll be a whole group of people that don't understand. And it's
Yeah.
not like we're talking about them,
But they think you
in
are.
their
Yeah.
mind. I'm like,
Yeah.
baby, you can't do that. That's kind of.
That's what happens when you get your nails done or you get a wax or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the
You
hell
know
are
they
you saying?
talking about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a toenail that lady was like talking extra. I was like, I know what you're talking about. You talking to me about the lady.
Oh, we have a text out to 813. It says, Orlando, now that it's over, how worried were you about the baby making Wild Splash with all his, let's call it, extracurricular activities?
Before, because I mean, he was giving us a headline a week, so it was like somebody was on the property and this and extra video from the Walmart and blah blah blah. So every week we were getting stuff, and it looked like his lawyer was going to be really, really good because every time something happened, it would go away and he would still be working. So we kind of started watching his lawyer like, hey, this dude's the MVP. But I didn't expect him to be like late or whatever, because there was like a rumor going around saying that he was online and he was in another city, and so people were like, is he really coming? And I was like, nah, his management is back here. So
Yeah.
it really felt like it was going to happen and whatever. And then we found out he was in another city and hadn't gotten on a plane yet, which was dumb. So yeah. So I mean, I knew he was going to be there on stage, but I didn't expect him to be
That late.
2 hours late.
Jeez.
So,
Yep.
all right, Boomerang. Who? I want the answer about who people think is good looking, but you think it's not.
Oh, man. For me, it's easy.
Who?
Chrissy Teigen. I think she's kind of gross, and not
You
only
think she's kind of
yeah, and I know she was a
model.
supermodel. Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that.
Well, then she was.
Well, whatever. They were wrong.
But
And-
is it because
and-
she's out of shape now?
No, because I don't think she looks good, and I think she is even worse on the inside than she is on the outside. I don't like her as a person, and I just don't. She don't do it for me.
She's dragging John Legend down. She is. Man, all right, Buck, who you got?
Speaking of Wild Splash, I got to see this woman, and everyone's been telling me how hot she is. Big Lotto.
Oh.
That's a big no.
Oh,
So like
man.
nasty.
That
Yeah.
is
You're not
messed
feeling
up.
Lotto in them
Bro,
shorts?
no.
Them shorts was screaming.
Nah, them shorts was a problem. No. I am out the door.
You don't like the
gone.
big booty cuties?
No, I'm not saying that.
You don't like
because
what?
they absolutely do. It was other things. Like I got to meet her at the toy tower, and I don't know, man. Just things didn't. I don't know, man.
Not feeling it.
Not my vibe.
Okay, all right,
I
I
like
got
those
you.
songs though. She was
Well, yeah.
acting out a lot of things on stage.
Yeah, she does. She's a good actress.
I think a lot of people find Ed Sheeran really cute. I love his music, but
Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran. When has ever Ed Sheeran been
he
treated?
gets the cute category. I
Really?
hear it all the time. Yeah, and I'm just, I don't get it. Like, okay, he's super talented, but I just don't get the, the redness and.
The redness. That's so foul.
Not a big fan.
Gingers
of that.
unite. All
Yes.
right, Meredith, they outside with picket signs for you right now. All right, that's the end.
Orlando.